Alright, so this is going to be a quick little tutorial on how to do the Luma bounce in Sky Station 1. This is not a strat I would recommend learning right away, especially as a beginner, because it's while it's not necessarily difficult, it can be difficult to learn, and it's basically kind of reliant on muscle memory and also relies on just being able to perform this proper timings on this. So how this planet normally works is you would backflip spin, wall jump spin up here, and then this Luma shows up, and then you take its launch star, you head over to this planet, you would do a backflip into the sling star, and then you would go into this launch star. You can actually skip having to take the Luma's launch star by doing a homing ground pound off of the Luma, and then reaching the planet gravity field and then reaching the gravity field of the planets you would go to. So to give you kind of a refresher on what a homing ground pound is, it's basically a spin followed by a ground pound. So you spin and then within like half a second you perform a ground pound. So it's not to be confused with a frame perfect ground pound, which is that's a frame perfect ground pound. That's spinning and ground pounding at around the same frame. With the homing ground pound you want a bit of a delay. And homing ground pounds home in onto the nearest item, enemy, or NPC, so like right there I used it to home in onto that Aquatumba. And you can use this to your advantage right around here. So what you want to do is you're going to want to get up here and then wait for the Luma to show up. I think I'm already too late. Yeah, so you need to do this pretty quickly, because you don't have that much time to set it up. So how I do this is, once I get up here, you just do the backfill spin, wall jump spin, and then, depending on if the Luma comes up to you immediately or not, you're going to want to spin, which will stop it in place, and you need to do this so that you can delay the Luma and have just enough time to set it up. So from there, after you spin it, you're going to backflip while in front of it, and then perform a homing ground pound. So, and the positioning is not precise at all. So now you're in the air, and because you're flying backwards, you have a lot more momentum. So you want to wait right before the camera would change, and then spin. This is actually pretty crucial, because you would think you want to wait longer before you spin, but you're actually more likely to get caught up in the gravity field if you spin earlier. And the entire time you want to be holding up, so I'm holding up. So there you go. So it looks like that. And the Luma's position, neither the Luma's position nor your position have to be super precise. Just as long as Mario is somewhat directly in front of the Luma and you are somewhere in front of the planets, you'll be fine. Like that. Like, see, even there, my angle was a little off to the left, but I was still able to make it. Right, I'll show it off. I'm gonna try to show off the Luma being somewhat far away, but it's kind of unknown what causes this, so I think what I read once is that if you're closer to the camera, then the Luma takes more time. So here's the Luma taking more time. You don't even have to spin to set it up here. You just wait for it to be in the right spot and then do the homing ground pound. Oh, and that's what happens if you ground pound too early. So you want to kind of wait for Mario's to kind of flip towards the direction of the planet, and then you can ground pound to get into the gravity field. You can technically not have to wait for that, but it's very hard to figure out the timing, so. Huh. Seems I'm getting, I guess, this is weird, I'm getting caught up in the wrong planet's gravity. Alright, I'll try and get one more good showing of it, and then I'll try and show it what it would look like in a full game run. This is a pretty tough strat to practice. Okay, so Okay, so what I think is happening is I'm spinning too early. Basically, if Mario starts to kind of lean forwards more than he already was, then that's a really good indicator that you pulled the trick off correctly. I'm getting a lot of frame perfect ground rounds this tutorial. Alright, so I'll try and show what it would look like in a full game run now. If you're gonna practice this stage optimally, when you select the star, don't let the level intro cutscenes play, but let the fly-in play. So, you can cancel that first one. That was a little bit late, but I should still be fine. One thing that a lot of people overlook on this planet is if you stand still after these Luma text boxes, then this cutscene ends, like, earlier. Because normally the camera would pan back to Mario, but it skips doing that if you stand still for some reason. So this is just kind of the general movement you want to do. That checkpoint is really important to grab. Alright, so this isn't gonna work. So yeah, basically, if that last part is the part that matters the most, because that's what will make setting up the Luma a lot easier. Alright, that'll work. And sometimes if you land, and most of the time if you land, you'll accidentally pick up a coin. Alright, I'm gonna get one more good showing of it, and then I'll be done. So here's the thing, though. This strat saves 1 second, and if you mess it up, you die. Or you have one of the other outcomes that happened to me earlier happen. So, whether or not you want to go for this is completely up to what you think. But it's a strat that I would not recommend a beginner doing. So yeah. Hopefully that did a really good job of explaining Luma Bounce. If you still have any questions, because for some reason you're insane enough to try this strat, then, because it's something you shouldn't really try until you're at a top level, and even then, it's a little bit debatable. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. So I hope this helped you learn how to do Luma Bounce.